Hey, today we have a story from Surviving Infidelity. This one deals with a woman whose infidelity is discovered after she gets arrested for DUI. As always, spelling and grammar mistakes courtesy of Reddit. Lol. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps this channel grow. Thank you. This story is titled, My Girlfriend 31 Cheated on Me, Male 27. Together 8.5 years and have a 2-year-old daughter. Hey, first time ever doing anything like this and felt very broken for 2 weeks since D-Day. I will start with how everything came crashing down, then following that I'll tell you my troubles. I guess I'm just looking for opinions and advice since I don't have many friends and I'm embarrassed to speak with them about it. We've been together for 8.5 years and have a 2.5-year-old little girl. I had my suspicions for years, but within the last 4 months I've been checking her Facebook through an old phone that was still logged in. What I noticed that was a little troubling at first was her reaching out to guys for conversation. 90% of them were after midnight, nothing too terrible but just a hey, how are you doing, I miss your face, long time no talk, etc. Also, there were a few times where she gave them her phone number to not really mess with Facebook. I didn't have proof that she was cheating and didn't want to bring it up to her that I was invading her privacy, so I said nothing for the time being. I would check in on Facebook every few weeks periodically and began to notice deleted messages. They would pop up on the notifications, but when I went to pull it up, they were deleted. We met while partying way back when we were younger. I slowed down as I had gotten a decent job that required me to work more hours. She had not slowed down much and was going to the bar every weekend. This was a neighborhood bar that a lot of friends in our circle, which were mostly hers and I guess you can say acquaintances of mine. 70% of the time her brother or good guy friends were with her, so I felt comfortable with her being there without me for the most part. In November I call her at about 10 o'clock, her store closes at 9 o'clock, to see if she was on her way home to me and our daughter. She then texted me and said she was swinging by the bar for a few drinks. Disappointed but not unusual. My daughter finally fell asleep at about 11 o'clock and I had worked since 3 a.m. that day, so I fell asleep at the same time as her. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. and she's still not home. She normally stays up until 5 a.m. and this has happened before, but I'm still concerned, so I call her. She answers the phone drunk and says it's not good. She said she's talking to the cops and she has to get off the phone. I asked her where she was. So maybe I could help the situation, or at the very least we could keep the car from getting towed. She was with a guy bar friend of both of us and her brothers, and said she was taking him home, so somewhere around his house. After talking to her brother and trying to find her, we finally pull up to the scene. She was arrested and being brought to jail for DUI. The car was already being towed and her guy friend was in the truck with her brother. The car was off in some random neighborhood nowhere near the guy's house and was reported as a suspicious vehicle that was left running. It being very late at night and trying to deal with the situation at hand, I was just trying to get my child's mother out of jail and get my car back. I talked to her brother after I had gotten home and got the guy's side of the story according to her brother. After I had bonded her out of jail and talked to her to get her side of the story, they didn't match up. Both were lying. I knew something was wrong. I told her immediately that's not what I heard happened. Then she just said, I don't remember, I was drunk. I bring her home and she stays at the house with our daughter while I go get the car out of impound with her brother. On the ride there I told him that the two stories don't match up and he had his suspicions but didn't want to jump to conclusions. I go get the car and open up the car and find her panties sitting there on the seat. My heart sank to the floor. I showed her brother and he still had suspicions and said he was going to figure it out from the other guy. After I bring the car home, I went into the laundry basket to see if she came home with any panties and she didn't. I brought her outside to see and asked her about it. She had just recently stayed the night at her dad's and said that the cops went through her bag of clothes. I didn't believe her but had no proof. She acted disgusted that I even asked about them, and said that she never cheated on me right to my face, looking me in the eyes. I apologized and said it doesn't look good, so that's why I asked. A few months later, it's January and a day before my birthday. I had my best friend and his brother come by for a few drinks. I had a little too much and passed out. But I noticed my best friend's brother eyeing up my girlfriend. I wake up feeling a little suspicious, but I took my girlfriend to work because she can't drive right now. I look into her old phone with Facebook after I drop her off. My best friend's brother was trying to hit on her through Facebook after I fell asleep for the whole night. She didn't really flirt back, but she also didn't give the response that I would have liked. Then I noticed 2 other guys whose messages were deleted. She sets both of them up on ghost mode where the messages would delete automatically. They were messaging up to 5:30 a.m. and were long conversations. One of the guys was the guy she had got arrested with that night. The other guy was the guy that she has been deleting the messages from for a few months, even before the DUI. I told her I saw the messages between all 3 guys over text. She confessed about my friend's brother but acted confused and didn't know what I was talking about with the other 2. I just texted her back and said okay, and then she folded, saying I don't know what you saw, but I'm sorry and I love you and don't want to break up our family. I asked her to confess because I still had no solid proof and the messages were deleted. I didn't let her know that though. She messages the DUI, and I messaged back everything. She said, "You will have to tell me because I don't know what you mean." I told her, "How can I believe you if you can't even confess what you did? I already know, I have the messages." She said it was mostly just words and it was just dumb shite. I said what words and to who and what happened with the DUI. She says, "I don't know people, I don't even know why." More of this same stuff, just going back and forth. I told her I will see her when I pick her up from work. We get home and go out back to talk about it. I kept telling her I saw the messages and need her to confess. She admitted to sleeping with him the night of the DUI. And with the other guy that she's been deleting the messages, well, he has been just saying dumb shite. I asked her what did she say and she replied, it was about him fricking me and bending me over the pool table, taking his big black wanker. I forgot to mention this was another guy who was a regular at the bar. We've both been trying to deal with this for 2 weeks and it's still hard. She keeps saying she wants to move forward and not look in the past, but it's hard to get it off my mind. All of the lies and the betrayal. I did everything I could have for our relationship. I feel like I can't trust anybody, but I do love her. I told her we will try to make it work, but it eats me every day. Honestly, I think the only thing holding us together is our daughter now. I came from a broken family and don't want her to live like that. I don't know if I feel weak for staying or strong for trying to make it work. She says it's easy for you just to walk away, and I think that is true, so I wanted to take the harder path to give it everything I can. This is not the first time she's lied to me. She has lied about phone numbers from guys, saying it was her cousins. She has also lied about where she was. Her brother called me to say she was up to no good and that I should go check on her. I pulled up to the bar at the same time as her and saw another guy in her car. She drove away and said it was nothing, but her actions didn't tell me that. Those 2 incidents were before our daughter, and I thought that would have brought a new chapter to our world. I guess not, but I still feel like it wouldn't have happened to me. I'm lost, please help. Edit, I have a lot going on in our lives right now, including a family death. But my curiosity is running. I want to reach out to the guy and find out exactly what was going on. Is this a bad idea? Comment 1. DNA test your daughter right now. STD test right now. Leave her right now. Serial cheater and it's never going to get better. She will never be a faithful person, she will never be a good person, and from the sounds of her partying and getting arrested instead of parenting her child, she will never be a good mother. Leave her, take your daughter with you and do get the DNA tests and the STD tests, even if you're terrified of the results. Get them done. Lawyer up for the inevitable custody battle too, unless your GF is as irresponsible as she sounds and doesn't even fight for her kid because random hookups and alcohol are more important. Comment 2. You need to talk to a lawyer now. You also need to make her leave to give you space to process and heal from this unforgivable betrayal. You need to protect your daughter from someone who is having substance abuse problems. You need to get tested for STDs. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. She showed you who she is. She will absolutely, positively cheat on you and your daughter again and again. Do not take her back. Go no contact except for issues concerning your daughter. You need to get a paternity test. She definitely needs to see a mental health specialist, but that's not your concern now. You need to protect your daughter and yourself. I'm sorry this happened to you. It's heartbreaking. Be strong for your daughter. You and she will both heal with time. Comment 3. Sometimes on this sub people post the very simple advice, run. Just run, and I've never really got it before. Yours is the first case I've seen where this advice is undeniable. You may have been in a relationship for 8.5 years, but she never was. She has been single all this time and used your home as a base of operations. Whatever you're doing, stop. You need at least a month of no contact with her to sort out your feelings. Have her stay with her brother. Any decision you make now whilst you are off kilter may not look quite so good in the future. You need to make the best decision you can for yourself and your daughter. When you have had some processing time, then contact a lawyer, get STI checked and DNA test your daughter. You need to be serious and show her that you are serious. If you intend to reconcile, and heck knows why you would, then she cannot get away with any one of her many infidelities without consequence. What you already know is awful, but it's only the tip of the iceberg. Every man that you mentioned that has tried has succeeded in getting with her. There will be more. The night of the DUI. That is what she has been doing for the last 8.5 years every time she goes out, and it was blind chance that she got caught. After acting this way for so long, she may not be capable of acting any other way. It has been going on for so long that she might not even understand that you didn't know. Her response to everything was telling. She has misbehaved so often and so many times that she genuinely didn't know which infidelity you were talking about. Was it from this week, last week, or some years ago? Please stay strong for your daughter and look after yourself both physically and mentally. It's going to be very bad, but with support from those around you that care, you'll pull through. Reply from Op. This hits so hard. I am having a rough time, and she really does seem remorseful and says that she will change everything to try to keep me and our family together. She knows how well I treat her and our daughter, and me leaving is becoming a reality to her now. Thank you so very much for listening. Please check out my other videos and like and subscribe.